Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I have kind of been MIA from creating for a while, especially creating for myself. And by a while, I mean 3 weeks, maybe less than that actually, I think 2 weeks. But usually I'm painting something, working on something daily. So this is kind of a long break for me, but I had done the break because I've been feeling like I need and want to slow down a little bit. Like I'm just churning out piece after piece after piece. And while I love painting and do so kind of in a obsessive and sometimes panicked manner, so by default I do make a lot of things fairly quickly, I wanted to do more creating for myself. So not making things with the sole intention or with like the motivating purpose to be shown at a specific show or location. And because of that, I took a couple weeks off to kind of like rest because I had like a whole bunch of stuff going on, and had just finished, this is actually one of the pieces from a show that I did September 14th-ish, I think. And then I got my license finally, like officially got my license. And then I was also looking at like places of employment for nails, and then doing nails as well. And then also press on sets. So like there was just like a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I needed a little bit of a break, a little bit of time to kind of just like relax and recoup. And then also my mental health was just kicking my ass. So I needed a minute. But now that I'm feeling like myself and I do have a little bit of time, I am taking that time to paint for myself. And I'm actually going to use, here, I'll try to show you. So you see that giant canvas? There is one down here that I am going to be painting on. And this will be the second time I've painted on something this big. And it doesn't have anywhere to be, but I do want to paint and make something. And kind of like the other piece that I did do that was this size, it'll be something that is kind of all of the dimensions of my artwork, like all of the different lore behind it. So the phantasmal, grim, interlude, all of them kind of interacting together. And so I have a sketch of it, which is kind of hard to really see what's going on fully. But so this will be interlude, so just the clouds. And then this circle here will be phantasmal. So it'll be really bright, really colorful, erratic. And then the background will be grim. So it'll be much darker and moody. And then this little guy here, I did this recently on a couple of pieces that I worked on for that show that I mentioned, where I taped off a portion of the background. And since my backgrounds are at least 2 colors, it kind of has like an ombre fade effect. But I taped it off and then I used those same 2 colors to then essentially do a dirty pour. If you don't know what that is, that's when you pour 2 different like high flow paints together in a container and then pour them out. And then whatever comes out of that is what the artwork is. But I did it in kind of like a little dotting tool sort of guy. So I was able to make like little dirty pour dots, and it is very interesting and kind of like trippy, and it creates like a very subtle but like really intricate, and like it creates a lot of depth in a disruptive way, which I really enjoy. So I'm gonna do a ray of that through it as well, just kind of to break it up and play with some stuff. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be working on today. And I figured since I was starting a giant piece that I anticipate taking most of the month to make, I would take you along with me. But as of right now, this is the only thing that I'm personally working on. I do have a project for the cathedral. They're doing a fundraiser and they're having a whole bunch of the different artists painting skulls. So I have to pick that up actually this week. And then I'll do that. And then for November, which is the thing that will be a very busy month. Every weekend in November, I have something art related going on because in Austin, we do the East studio tours. And so I'll be doing that, but luckily I don't really have to and I won't be making anything specific for those things because the art from the show last month that I did will be going to one location. And then some of my newer stuff that I have just been making throughout the year will go to a different one. So I don't have to panic paint or be having a whole bunch of deadlines that I'm working against or with to be able to participate in those. So that's nice. And it's also another chance for some of the pieces that I have made who haven't been seen anywhere or maybe seen at one location have another time for new people to check them out. So that'll be nice. But yeah, honestly at this point I'm kind of just rambling. So I'm gonna get to painting and you get to kind of go along with. I might talk through some of the process with you because I am just gonna be trying stuff and seeing how that goes. So kind of some creative play and some creative problem solving will absolutely be part of this, I'm sure. But yeah. Okay, so like I said, we will be doing, actually, hold on, let me turn down the TV a little bit. Okay, so like I said, we're just figuring this out because I'm not really sure what the most effective way or easy way to do all of the layers inside of one another. And so I have one of these big circle canvases, so I'm going to use this as my template to do interlude because I think I'm gonna paint in, out, and then just cover them out kind of how I normally do because that's just what makes sense. But so this will be my stencil for interlude, and then to make the border, to try to have a more rounded circle where I'm not having to measure so much. For the border portion, I figured I have a bunch of string that I will tape it to the center of the wood canvas and then tie a pencil to the other end so that I can just use that to make the other circle and see how that goes. And so I'll do kind of the same process with that as well once I do get that portion sketched out. I will do the base layer of the border and then create a different stencil to make a sticker to cover the border and then paint the inside, finish that, cover the whole thing, and then move to the next layer, which would be the phantasmal bubble after. And then I'll probably use the same method to make the circle for that as well. And I did just switch out the blade for my X-Acto knife so that it should be sharp enough that I don't need to push very hard to cut out the tape. So I am going to try, fingers and toes crossed, that I don't mess up this canvas, but I'm gonna try to just tape over and then cut out on the canvas versus using parchment paper, which I normally do to make the stencils because the parchment paper, which is the whole reason I use it, the tape does not stick to it well, which means it does kind of lift, which then makes it hard to cut and shape that as well. So we're gonna see if that's any easier. I am hoping it will be because again, I shouldn't need to use very much pressure to be able to cut the tape, so I shouldn't affect the canvas at all doing it. Hopefully. So we're gonna start that and then go from there. Okay, so I think this is where I'm gonna place it. I am doing this so like I will flip the canvas. So this is actually the top, not the bottom, just because it's closer to me. So it'll be easier for me to make the stencil and cut everything out for now. But yeah, this is a little bigger than I had pictured, but I think that's fine because more often than not, I feel like I like my paintings to look very full is how I like to describe it. So there's like, I don't know if you guys can see that one up there. So that one there, like it's very full, it's very busy, there's a lot going on, and there's few spaces where it is just little to nothing going on, or just like the background that you see, and that is my preference. So often with these bigger ones, I do kind of be like, damn, I wish I would have gotten a little bit bigger. So even though this is bigger than like in my head I'm picturing this going, I think I'm going to commit to this being a little bit bigger because I often want things bigger anyhow. So like hopefully that's not a problem, and even if it is, I can just cover it up and fix it later. It's fine. This is creative problem solving. We're just figuring it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. But from here, I'm just gonna time lapse you and you just get to watch me. Okay, so did sketch out the circles. They look even, they look nice. But the string thing's not really working the way that I had anticipated, but I think I am just gonna let that be. So by that I mean, if you can see here that it's not even, that part of it is significantly more narrow than the other, but I've never done that in a painting, so I might just use that as an excuse to just see what the hell that might look like within the painting. And I think it could be interesting. I think that could be cool and just, you know, something a little bit different. You never know. And I was also thinking about like how the hell I'm gonna make this circle good after like taping it over, since then I can't see anything again. So what I think I'm actually gonna do is use the inner circle as more of a guide than anything else. This band, the base layer is going to be a dark, like chocolatey brown. So I am going to just put that down, and then I'm going to put that circle, well, I'm going to put that down so I can still use the inner circle as an outline of where to put the wood canvas back in, so I can do the same method again to make the line. But I'm gonna paint and then I'm gonna tape it over, put the stencil back in the center, and then draw that line over the tape and then cut the tape out. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. The only thing that's really coming to mind as like a reasonable, impossible solution. So we're gonna do that. So it did work, and I checked the back of the canvas. It doesn't look like I cut through anything. So now will be to do the background, so like the sky color, which I'm gonna go with a light blue and teal, I think. And that will probably be the only part of this that I get done today, which is fine. And then tomorrow we'll get back to it. But honestly, I might just leave you guys here, and then I will show you tomorrow before I start painting on it again. But yeah, so I will see you guys in new day, and this is where I ended up leaving it yesterday. So we are going to start with handy dandy chalk. I am going to block out the cloud shapes, and for the clouds I am doing, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this color, but this kind of like cream tan brown situation, and then like I don't know, eggshell as well for the lighter parts of the cloud. But the goal today is to get like 2 layers done, because usually they take like 3 or 4. So I'll mask out the general shape of the clouds, and I will probably do 2 bigger ones that will be in the background, and then I'll probably put maybe 2, I don't know, we'll see how big those ones are. Maybe like 2 or 3 smaller ones on top of those. So start with the small ones first, and then we'll see where we go from there. Just finishing the first 2 sets of clouds. Give you a little bit. How closer look. See? So these 2 will be the biggest and the brightest, and then tomorrow, so I'm gonna let these dry completely before I start painting on them, so like nothing moves around too much. I will do the same thing for the next layer of clouds. And those ones will be what the darkest color on these ones are, and then as the lightest color, and then the darker shade will be this. So that will be the next ones. And I don't know how many I think I'm gonna do. I'm thinking I want to put one like in this general vicinity, like here maybe. And then maybe another smaller one here that possibly makes contact with the top portion of this one. Or maybe just a smaller, bigger, or not smaller, bigger, a smaller one that's sitting higher. And then, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure yet. But I'm pretty happy with how these guys look so far. So then the plan is to do those next 2 tomorrow. Hopefully, well, I do have plans tomorrow, so I don't know how much I will actually get done with it tomorrow, but if I don't have that much time, I probably won't film the next little bit of progress. So the next time you see me, I could be starting these next couple, or you'll just see like the general shape of them as like the darkest color, and then we'll go through doing them together. But yeah, happy with where we're at so far, and yeah, I'm excited to see what this turns into, because still got a very loose idea of what this might be. But yeah, so I guess maybe tomorrow or the next day you guys will see me, and we'll keep going. Hello again. So it is a different day, and I did end up blocking in the deepest shade for the next set of clouds. So today the goal is to finish these guys. Usually the darker ones, for whatever reason, take me a lot less time to finish. So we're gonna do those, and then I'm actually gonna go to one of my friend's art shows tonight. So I think that the goal will just to get these done. And then after that though, I will be able to take this section over and then start the next circle, which will be the phantasmal circle that I will be working on next. So yeah, I think we're just gonna do a time lapse. So you'll just get to watch me paint, and then you'll see me for the next steps. The magic of time lapse, I'm already done. So I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I'll bring you a little bit closer to see. Let's try to. So there are the dark guys. Oh, I am for sure not showing you anything for real. Okay. Hopefully you can see shit. But that is where I'm stopping with painting for now. I'm gonna let this dry fully before I tape over it, because I have been impatient before and taped over it a little bit. Like, it felt dry, I thought it was dry, and then I taped over it, and then had consequences to that decision. So we're gonna let this dry thoroughly for now, and then I'll tape it over at some point tomorrow, and then I'll do that same circle method that I used to make this, and I'll probably do the same thing where it won't be even across, just so it looks more intentional with all of the borders looking like that. And yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with how the clouds are looking. I am still questioning the decision with how big I made this initial circle, because it feels way too big. Here, let me take this out a little further so you can actually see size reference as of right now. So you can't see the whole canvas because it is like, I mean, for size reference, you know, here's my whole damn body. But yeah, I don't know, it still feels like it might be a little too big, but we're trusting the process, because like I said before, I often wish I would have gone a little bit more grand with the scale to make sure everything looks full and complete and cohesive. So I think it just feels that way because that is the only thing that's on there currently, and it's like not even a fourth of the surface area I have to paint, so I don't know why it looks like that to me. But like the other painting I did with you guys, it was the pink one that had the cameo in the center. I wish I would have made that bigger, and I regret not doing it because I had the thought after I had initially sketched out this shape of like, man, I should make this bigger, and then I didn't do it. But this time I am absolutely doing that. So I think it'll be fine. I think it'll work out. I think it'll look good. But yeah, so tape off tomorrow, and then we'll be doing this circle portion here. We'll be starting that anyhow. So yeah, until next time, which could be tomorrow or a couple days from now. But yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next clip. See ya. Hello. So as you can see, I taped it off, and we're gonna start today using this again to make the circles. So I'm gonna let you guys just watch me struggle to figure that shit out, and then we'll check right in. did end up getting a phone call from my friend yesterday when I was painting and ended up yapping, so that's why it abruptly kind of cut off there. But in that process, I did get the little border going and I did start cutting it out using that same method with this guy here in the center to do it. So this time you get to watch me finish this portion, and I might also draw out the little ray that I'm gonna do this. I don't know if, I mean, I have my first day of onboarding at the spa that I will be working at. So it is currently, I think, like 8 in the morning. So I'm just gonna do this for a little bit and then go do my first day. And then depending on how much energy I have after that, then I might finish, and we'll be doing that ray portion because I think it makes the most sense to kind of tape that part out, do the base color of it, and then tape it all over, and then come back to the phantasmal circle, I think. So yeah, I think that's the game plan, at least for now. It could change, but for now, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, just back to a montage of me struggling to cut tape, mostly. Finish that part. I don't need that anymore. So now to figure out that ray situation. See how that goes. We're just gonna map it out first. So easy at struggling. I got the other bits of tape down, and actually, hold on, all taped off. I tried folding these where these overlap. I thought maybe it'd make it easier to take them off later, but yeah, this is as far as I'm gonna get this morning because I need to go get ready, and then I might do this portion later today. We'll see though. Look, my little assistant helping. Just hanging out, managing my time. Sleeping on the job, disrespectfully. But yeah, okay. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hello. So obviously, again, a different day. I haven't done anything since the last time I saw you guys. But just now I mixed up these two colors. This one looks way darker on camera than it is in person, but it's like a pinky peach color and then a light yellow, and I'm gonna do that little ray that I was taping out in that. And yeah, I think that's right now. I'm thinking about writing in it and then still putting the dots on top of it just to kind of see what that might do. But yeah, we're just gonna start with doing this. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of a fade in out sort of a thing. I think that would be nice and different from how I'm gonna do the grim background of the fading. So there will be a contrast in color as well as shift that I think will be nice. But yeah, so let's get to So back at it. And then today, since yesterday I did end up painting the strip in a way that I liked, I am now going to try that writing thing. So this is the color that I'm using. It's actually pretty close to like the peachy color that I use within the ombre, but just slightly a different tone. So it's very subtle, but you can see it, which is kind of what I'm going for. I'm not looking for like a sharp contrast by any means. So I am going to be writing Turning My Sorrows into Pure Gold, which is a line from a DPR Ian song that's just always really resonated with me. And then we're gonna varnish it over, because anything that I would put over top of this, even possibly the tape, can sometimes peel a little bit of it. Like it takes it off as though it's like a chip, like just some of the pigment just is wherever it was touching it. So we'll varnish on top so that it's protected and it won't go anywhere. And then we'll tape all over it and then move back into the phantasmal circle. So without further ado, gets to write. Okay, so I let the varnish dry completely and then taped it over. And then I don't know if this actually works or if this is just what in my head makes sense, and I'm just telling that to myself now as a little bit of a lie. But once this tape has a little bit to sit on the canvas, I'm gonna put varnish over the edge. In my head, it seals this line and helps limit the bleeding from everything that I will be putting on top of the edge here. It seemed to have worked the other two times I did something like this. So we're just gonna keep going with it. And if not, I can always clean up slightly from the inside or outside, but hopefully this will do what it needs to do. And then that might be maybe all that I do today. And then tomorrow maybe we'll start here, because I have some cooking to do and I'm gonna make like a little dessert thing. So I wanna do that. So I might not have time to get back to here. If I do, I will show you. I might not have you like do a paint with me with it, but I may be able to show you like what progress I make before and like kind of talk you through if I do end up doing some more to this. But for now, that is all, and I will see you on a different day. Good morning. So different day. I did end up doing some of the painting and just painted without you guys, but here, let me show you what I've done so far. Oh, awesome. Look at that guy. Forever just hanging out. Okay, this is where I'm at. I ended up doing the background, the two-tone colors. I did a light gold splatter. This is kind of more of a like rusty orange color, and then I put I call it like litter in the background. as well. So we got that part. And then next, I'm going to sketch out where I'm gonna put all of the dots. Well, I guess the big dots first. And then those will be, what color? Kelly green. And so we'll do that. And then I will get to working on the little ribbon guys. And then, Bud. Just a needy boy. You just need attention. Yeah. But yeah, so I will be trying to paint while also simultaneously giving him some pets. But yeah, that's where we're at for this morning. So we'll get to some painting and you guys just get to watch. We'll do a little time lapse again, so you don't have to sit and tediously watch me through the whole process. Long time no talk. So we're getting back to this big guy. I am gonna do the ribbons. I don't know if how well you can see that, but the ribbons here. And since I'm kind of painting this also in reverse, I noticed after we get to this point, I might move where I have them a little bit, just to, you know, do whatever the heck I want and see how it fits and flows a little bit better. But yeah, we're gonna do that. And then I don't know, I guess we'll see what it looks like from there and just keep it going. This for right now. Gonna let these and the ribbons dry, and then I'll put my splatter on, varnish, cover, and tape. I may or may not take you with me to do that process, because in these boxes here I have something I need to prep for this weekend, so I'm not sure if I'll have time to do both of those things or not, but this is where we're at. I'm happy with where we're at. I think for splatter I'm gonna go with yellow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do yellow. So I think that'll look good. And like a true yellow, not a neon. But yeah, I'm happy. What do you guys think? Oh, and look at my nails. This is my new set. They have like a blue cat eye, and then 2 cheetah print, and then this other hand is just, oh, there's paint on this one, but it's just the cat eye. And my nails. But, yep, so I guess I'll see you guys soon. been time has passed quite a bit of time actually. But as you saw, I did do the background portion, and I did like some little wash detailing up there in the corner as well for just the background portion. And now we're to the point where I will do my splat shape, but I am a little conflicted. So in the sketch, I put it here. You're not. 1 second. Okay, this way you can see better. So in the sketch, I put it back in here, so you can kind of see it there. And I'm not sure I want to put it in the same place anymore. I think I kind of want to just stick it to this upper area here and kind of avoid here, because I'm going to be having the black and white polka dot line go through a lot of the bottom of this. And I don't want too many things happening that this gradient situation will get totally lost. So I'm kind of rethinking that just a smidgen. And I think what I will do is just use chalk, because of course, handy dandy chalk, and place it up in this area and kind of play around with it to see what I like, and then go from there. So that is what we will be doing next. Okay, so I think this is what I'm going to go with, because you still see all that kind of littering in the background behind it. And then I think, here, I'll zoom up it. I like compositionally how that looks. Ideally, I would be able to do more than one, but this has 2 of those shapes already. And for me to fit it here would be kind of difficult. I might play with that though anyway, just to see. But I don't know. I think I'm happy with obviously changed my mind. I did in fact do 3 little splat shapes in the background and in a light gray, which I really like because it kind of echoes this color nicely with the brightness that it brings. And then everything that I will be putting on top will be very moody. So I think it'll create a nice contrast. But yes, I am much happier with the 3 as the placement. I think spatially that just works better. And then with the 2 that are inside there, then in total I'll have an odd number, which if you know, you know. Odd numbers are for the win for composition in art, and personally I do very much enjoy a 3. So I'm happy with this. We're gonna let this dry. I will come back, and as you can see, as we get closer, it's not very clean because I have to wipe off the chalk. So my first layer, I do kind of messily to find the general shape I'm going for. And then I will, once that's dry, wipe the chalk away, and then I'll do a second layer to make everything even, make sure the lines are nice and thin and crispy the Hello. It has been a minute, but we're getting back to this giant guy. Look, I've gotten pretty far, pretty happy with it. So as of now, I'm thinking of doing a light misting splatter and then doing the ribbons on top of it, because I'm doing like the litter situation here. Hold on, let me show you what I mean by litter. Okay, so like this sort of thing, like the blue bits that are kind of like scribbly in the background, like this and like that sort of stuff, I call litter. So that is going to be on some of the top layers, when normally I do it kind of in the background, like you can see it on this one too. So like how the blue it's so hard to point this way. Okay, but fuck. Jeez. Okay, so like the blue bit there, how it's in the background, I'm going to be putting it on this one much farther up in the layer, so more of the foreground sort of situation. But to give some dimension, I do want to do a light splatter that's more of a misting, then do the ribbons, and then I have the halo dots and then I'll do the litter, then the bigger splatter, and then we'll remove the tape. So we're only a couple layers away from getting to see what it actually looks like, because as you can see, most of it is covered. So kind of painting blind, which is sometimes fun, but also a little confusing when doing it this way. But yeah, so now I need to pick a color, and I'm not sure what color to pick. I have all of like my high flows in here, and so far I kind of like put all of the painting, oh gosh, my goodness, all of the paint that I have used already to the side, so I don't repeat colors. Now if they're similar in tone or similar in color, they're not similar in tone, because I more contrast the better. I don't prefer to repeat colors if I don't have to. So I have all of these to choose from, but that's so hard. I don't know what to choose, since so far I have like this kind of gross green situation that I actually very much like. Very happy with that decision. And then gray, blue, lighter blue, and then in here the bigger circle, of course, is all of the pinks, all of the bright colors. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, what did I write for my ribbon colors? So on this one, the ribbon colors will be, what did I put? Red, orange, and pink. So I kind of want to avoid those colors again with my splatter choice. But maybe I can do a neon orange, because I don't think I did a neon orange in the original. Sorry, I'm putting you down. Okay. So I've already used this, and then I have this. So this blue is on this current layer, and then this pink and then yellow, I believe, are the splatter colors within the circle. I'm pretty sure it's this yellow. Yeah, it's this yellow. So, decisions. Well, I also have like this gross green color, kind of like a neon green, which could be cool. Or what is this? Fluorescent orange. What's this orange? Oh, it's a fluorescent orange. This could be cool too. It's like an off-white with like a pinkish tone to it. Yeah, I think. Oh, okay. So we have two lighter colors. We have this one that looks really white on camera, but it's actually, it's called Titan Violet Pale. So it's like more purpley. There, you can kind of see it better right there. It's kind of more of a purple undertone light, which could be cool. I have this one that looks more like a peachy sort of skin tone, but I kind of want to do like a high contrast. I think I am gonna do orange. I think that might be what I do, and then we might just have to change one of the colors for the ribbons. Yeah, because I think the contrast would be nice. So I think this orange, because it'll be sharp, which I like. And I do also like this weird green, but I don't want to use another green because I'm going to be using greens in my like hollow sort of circles. So I don't know that I want to do another one. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do that green or that orange. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put you up on my stand so I can use my hands and then do the light splatter. And then I'll map out chalk outline for the ribbons. And I'll probably get back to you after the first layer of the ribbons. So you may or may not see that, but yeah, okay. Splatter. Okay, so I actually changed my mind again. So we're gonna go with this really pretty fluorescent violet as the light misting splatter in the background. So this is what we're doing instead. Because we're about to flip around so you can see. So Q-tips are something I use a ton of because it's just really easy for me to kind of spot correct. And that is preferred. So like with this, some like these spots are a little bigger than I want them to be. So I'm just gonna use a Q-tip to clean it up because the color has not fully set yet, so it's super easy to remove still. So I removed most of like the bigger ones. I'm okay with these ones being that size, but now I am going to do even finer dusting that, you know, like how these smaller ones are. I want more of that concentrated in this area here. And then I'll probably do that corner over there and then possibly a little down over there. We'll see. But for now, here and then over there. So splattered, nice little dusting here in that corner there, and then kind of all around the edge there, most heavily in this general area. So now to let that dry, and then we will do the ribbons. But yeah, so far, happy. I mean, you never know, because I still got literally half of it to take off tape of, but so far happy. But ribbons, and then I'll be back. Okay, we're back and we've made some progress. So I did one really big ribbon and I really am happy with the color choice. I like how bright the red is and it feels sharp the way I was wanting it to, so happy with that. And then I did my little hollow dots, and now I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going back into the ribbon area and I'm going to do smaller detail ribbons. Okay, so like on this one, it's kind of hard to see because far away. Actually, hold on. So now we're closer, you can actually see. So you see those two kind of like teardrop ribbons next to the one larger one. So those ones I would consider detail ones. So just ones that are even on that one. This one here is like that. And then there's even a smaller one right there. So that is what I'm gonna be doing on this part, but I think I'm gonna make them a little more intricate and kind of weird noodly like this one is, just very small. And I did the hollow dots because I do think I want to do some areas where the smaller ribbons are on top. So I thought it would just like kind of interact in an interesting way. And since I'm doing a new thing, might as well commit to the whole thing and just really do it different. So we're gonna try something a little different. And I think for this one, these smaller ribbons, I am gonna do maybe, I actually really don't know. I might do darker red, orange, and I originally had pink as part of the equation as well. But I think I might do orange and then maybe a peachy orange. I don't know though, because that ray that I did, I think there was an orange under there. I'll have to go back and look at like my pictures to be sure, because it's been a minute, so I'm not 100% sure what color I put underneath there. But doing that peachy color, as long as it's not too close, and pink, so doing like orange, orange, red, and a pink for all of the smaller little ribbons. But yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, I'll show you guys whatever the heck I end up doing. I'm probably not gonna film you guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just gonna paint and then show you after the fact, because I just kind of just want to like paint and not really pay attention. So the filming will have to wait, but I will update you. I promise. Pinky promise. Pop back in to show you what I meant. So this is like a whole, just like new thing. I actually kind of do this sort of thing when I am translating my artwork onto press-ons. I do my ribbons like this because I just don't translate as well on an actual nail, just because like the less space. So like smaller stuff like this just looks really interesting and much better. And I'm really digging how it looks. So as of right now, we're going to use the darker red to go alongside the ribbon throughout here. So I'll continue this way up and then to there. And then after that, I'm thinking I might do maybe just 2 colors that I detail on top of this possibly, or maybe do like small dot work or smaller line work next to it. We'll kind of see. We'll play around with that in a bit, but yeah, very happy, very cool. Liking it. What do you guys think? It's been, I think, a day, and I added this drip here on this side, and then I put one over there. And then for the ribbons, I'm super happy with how they turned out. So I went in and did teeny tiny little details next to them, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. But when I peel all of that, I'm gonna have to go back and do this with the other ribbons under there. So I think it'll just be too boring in comparison to that. But yeah, I'm super happy with this so far. It's like, it's turning out so beautiful. Yay. But I just did this. There's still some evidence on my hands from it. But once this dries, then I'm going to splatter. I allow that to dry, and then I'm gonna remove all of the tape. Morning, good morning, good morning. So back at it, obviously in my studio, back to painting. Now we're on to the splatter portion. So this is, let me put it for my face to kind of get it to focus a little bit better, but this is the color we're going with. It's a crimson hue, and it's like a really pretty maroon, like a darker maroon color. So we're gonna do some splatter with that, allow that to dry, and then we finally get to peel. So we'll kind of get a better idea of what the hell's going underneath all of this tape, because I don't know what it's gonna look like altogether because I've kind of forgotten. But I would say this is almost, while it seems like we should be farther than the halfway point, after the peeling of the tape, I do quite a bit of touch-ups. Also, Puppy says hello and good morning as well. I do quite a bit of touch-ups underneath, and then I still have all of the dot work. So I have like 3 separate large areas of small dot work that I have to do, at least. So yeah. Oh, also look at my nails. I did them yesterday. Super happy with how they turned out. Very cool. I tried, what is like, I don't know what you even call them, but they're kind of like little paint pads, and they're thicker gel. So I use that to do kind of like the aura effect. And I really like how it turned out. Super cool. I think actually all of these products that are on my nails are new products for me. And I like how all of it turned out quite a bit. But yeah, Anywho, so we're gonna get to painting. You guys will get to see a little bit of that. Look at my handsome man. He's just so cute. As you can tell, easily distracted this morning. The attention span is bad, but we're gonna do the splattering on this guy. I will show you some of it. We'll let it dry. And then maybe today we'll also do the peeling. We'll see. But yeah, yay. Okay, now I'm just procrastinating. But look at him. He's so handsome. Okay, splatter. So dark maroon spots. And I mean, you can't see that great with the lighting, but you can kind of see it. There we go, it focused. So that is where we're ending for right now. Once this dries, then we'll remove all of the tape things and then go from there. But so pretty. get into her. So I have cleaned up, well, I really didn't have to clean up the edges on this part here. The tape and going over with varnish situation worked very nicely. But I did have to touch up the band of both of the circles. But I'm very happy with how things look so far. And we're going to move on to doing dot work on this little strip here. So if you guys don't remember, I wrote Turning My Sorrows into Pure Gold, which is a lyric from one of my favorite songs by DPR Ian. And then I'm going to do dots underneath. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see this after that, but I'm okay with that. I think it's just like a nice little hidden detail that I personally very much enjoy. But we're going to do the dots here first. Then I'll probably do the dark brown band and then this tan band. And then we'll go through and then just do like the individual dots that I kind of litter around as I feel. But yeah, we're going to get into this. Hello, we are back, bonnet and all. So back to painting. I have done quite a bit and I am very happy with how things look so far. So hold on, let me give you a little look. This is where we're at. And today, because I've already done this, we just have these two bands of dots to do on this brown. I'm going to do like this neon orange. I thought that'd be nice. And then I'm not sure what I'm doing on this. I think I want to do this blue. It's called Mayan Treasure. It's like a really pretty blue. I'll show you guys in a second if I actually do use this one. But I'm thinking that would be nice because it'd be a nice callback to the blues here. And then I think create like a cool barrier and then also a callback to the blue in the sky. So it's like in 3 separate places. But I also was thinking about maybe doing this for the dots. I don't know. The dots that would be like speckled around everywhere. Not sure yet, but for sure with this orange, and we're gonna get to painting that guy.
Before we actually dig into it, Laura Owens, for this entire topic, a little bit of a content warning for you. We're going to be discussing claims of DV, the DV itself, and claims of miscarrying and pregnancy loss and things like that too. There are some bad photos, which if you can for them as well. Thank God this video is sponsored. We'll blur them out if not, if it's a little bit too much. A little bit too much. But then also a good amount, clearly, of mental...
Okay, I was going to put music over this, so I am watching a YouTube video, CC Suarez. Hey girl, love her. Anyhow, but I thought we could kind of talk about what's happening here. So I put varnish down on this brown band. All right, excuse me, CC. Shush, shush, girl, I'm talking. Okay, so I put varnish on this brown band because sometimes, which is what is happening here, these will like pull away when placed. And I think it's because of the high flow with some of these do kind of do like this weird like separation pulling thing. And it's not with like all colors, it's just some of them. And I have not figured out why that is, but I know this brown tends to do that. And then I have a dark purple that tends to do that with kind of anything I put on it. So to try to combat that, I'm going to mix this orange with some pouring medium and see if that helps. So we're gonna wipe that up, mix these two together, and then we'll try again. Hopefully it works. We are pivoting a little bit. Instead, I'm going to use this because even mixing the pouring medium into this guy, it's still separating on that dark brown, and I am committed to using orange and brown together, so we just gotta use a little bit of a different color. But they are pretty similar. The one in this tin is a neon, and this is just a bright orange. So there is a slight difference in shade, but it's honestly, I don't know that it'll be too terribly noticeable. Also, no one else knows what the hell color I was going to use, except for I guess you guys and me now, but I think it'll be fine. I think this will do what I want it to do, and it's not going to do that weird pulling thing it was doing. So take tell here because the colors are kind of close, but orange dot's done. And now for that tan line, and I think I'm going to use this blue because it's really pretty and I really want to. So yeah, I think that is what I'm going to do. I do worry slightly that this might read too similar to that, but I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. But yes, we're gonna do this. I am not going to film it because I want to just listen to my YouTube video and zone out and enjoy the painting. So I will put you guys away, but I will show you when I am done. Finished both of the layers of dots. What do you think? I'm pretty happy with it, but I do want to add some things. So on the center circle, the orange, I think I want to double layer that dot and put something else there. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to do that, and I'm thinking pink, like a really bright pink, because I think that'd be nice. And I think that'll create a little more contrast. And normally I do like a 2-post or like a double layer dot, and then I have a triple layer dot that I do that kind of scatters throughout. But instead of doing the double layer dot, I might only do that in that orange polka dot ring and do the triple layer dot throughout. I think that might be what I do, because I don't want it to be like so busy that it's like too much in that one space. And I think that might be a good way to go about it, because I do want a lot, but it's like a fine line where it's gonna look cluttered and too chaotic. At least that's what I'm thinking. So I think that is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do a bright pink on the orange dots, probably not all of them, but like the bigger dots within there. You know what, actually, hold on, pause. Okay, so I think this pink, because it is different than this pink here, I think that's what I'm gonna do, not sure yet. And then just like the bigger out of the dots, those ones will have double, I think. Again, not too confident, and because of that, I'm gonna sleep on it. Also, my back hurts from sitting like a shrimp doing these dots for several hours. So we're gonna be done for tonight, and then we'll look at it with fresh eyes tomorrow and then decide if we're gonna do this pink situation or a different color. I'm definitely doing the double dot, just not sure on what the color will be yet. But yeah, as you can see, nighttime. So I'm gonna eat dinner and call it for the day. So I will see you guys a different day. Bye. Hello, so we are back next day, and I did decide we are going to do the pink dots on the orange, and I'll be doing this pink. It's actually a different one than I showed you yesterday. It's a little bit brighter than the one I showed you. But yeah, we're gonna double dot that area. So we're about to get into double dot, and this is that bright pink on top of the orange. And as I pull away, you see how much brighter this area is here versus the orange. I think why I'm not a huge fan of the orange, while I do think it was the right choice, I think the neon would have worked better if it would have not been so difficult with like that weird pulling thing it was doing the other day. But I think the orange, the dark brown, and then this like dark copper color, I don't know how you would describe that, but it's like they're all in a similar color family, so it kind of flattens out the separation I'm trying to create, but then adding the pink there adds more dimension, which helps separate some things a little bit better, and I'm much happier with that. So we're going to continue this little situation across the whole thing, and I guess we'll see how it goes from there. Again, I am just gonna zone out and paint. You're not gonna be getting too much of a paint with me, time lapse or anything like that with this section, because I will be sitting like a shrimp and just locking in and getting it done. But I will show you when I am done, of course. I promise. Promise. All done. This is how that looks. I'm very happy with it, especially cohesively. We're almost there. I have just small dots to go through and do, but speaking of which, I did get this today at Michael's. Now, I know I look crazy, but I can use this as a dot tool. It's actually for clay rolling, I think, but yeah, it's flat and it is plastic, so it'll be easy to clean. So I've been thinking about getting maybe like a wood rod to do this, so I can just kind of make this a little easier with my dotting. But I found this, and I think this is even better because it'll be easier to clean since it's plastic. The acrylic paint, when dried, I can peel it off if I'm unable to get it off from just like wiping it. So now the conundrum is, do I use this, which normally I probably would use to make the white dots so I can just do them much bigger, but since that's already done and I do think this could be fun, I think I want to do my triple dot with this. So what I mean by triple dot is, hold on, let me show you these. So it is 3 layers of dot, and what I was saying earlier, double dot, that is a double dot, so just 2, which is what we did in this area. So now we have the triple dot, and I think I'm gonna go for the biggest layer as this size, and then make them smaller because I do have quite a bit of space to fill. And since some of those dots are already in, well, not even some of, since all of these dots are already in sizes that I've already used, I want to do a little bit of contrast. So I think using this one would be a good idea. Additional problem is, what colors do I do? Because I'm not totally sure what colors I want to do. I think I will just play around with some combinations in my sketchbook, which is something I normally do, just so I have some things to play with to decide if I like them and I like the color combination, because nothing is worse when you're like, oh, I like this, but it would have been better if I used X, Y, and Z color instead of whatever the hell color I used. So sketching and planning out a little bit very much does help. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do some dots in my sketchbook on the page of this guy's sketch, and then we'll figure out. That's going to take a while because it will take some time to dry. So I'm going to do that, take a break, and then I'll update you guys later. Okay, as promised, I did come back. I did do a little bit more than I had originally anticipated. I added highlights to the clouds because I asked my husband for his opinion, because sometimes when I'm like feeling a little stuck, it's nice to have an outside opinion on things. Doesn't mean I'm going to go with it, but I did agree with this. He said that the clouds, because how chaotic and busy everything is and how detailed everything else is, the clouds were kind of lackluster, and that I should add additional highlights to them. And so I did, and he was right, that did help. That now looks more balanced. And then I also started the first layer for the dots, because I did decide to go with green, blue, and orange for the dots. So that neon orange I wanted to use earlier, that wasn't cooperating. We're gonna do that. And then like a gross green and like a really pretty blue. But let me show you how we're looking so far. So this is where we're at. So like that dot, that, like that color is the first layer for the triple dot. And then in the clouds, I added additional highlights to both of the clouds. And I'm very happy with how we look so far. It looks very good. So I'm going to do the second layer on the dot, and that's kind of it for now, because today is New Year's Eve, and I'm just kind of putzing around the house. I did my sister-in-law's nails today. I did my nails today. Very bright, very neon aura, very pretty. But yeah, just kind of keeping it easy. Gonna do that next layer on the dot, and I guess whenever I finish up, I will show you guys the finished project, because we're almost there. We literally have 2 more dots to do, and then I'm done. But yeah, so back in the flesh. Good morning. Okay, I have finished her. She is totally done. I am super happy with how it turned out. Like I said in the beginning of this video, well, when I started this, I did not have anywhere for her to go, but I actually will be a part of a small group show in February. So she might be for that. I'm not sure yet. Wherever she ends up, I will at some point share, probably not in this video. Well, definitely not in this video, because I will be editing this and putting it up this month of January. So to be determined, I guess. But if she does go somewhere, I will share that at some point. But let's get into her, because she is stunning. Look. And then I'll give you some close-up shots of some of those details. So you can still kind of read what this says, which I didn't know if it would be legible at all. So I do kind of like that you can kind of see it. And as it gets closer up, the writing kind of disappears because it's closer in color to this darker shade than this light yellow here. So very nice. And then this is what I ended up doing with those dots. But I'll give you a quick scan over. Oh, and I have not varnished this yet. So it does not have the shine finish, which I usually go for satin, so it's not usually like super shiny, but any user. The cloth looks good. But isn't she beautiful? I'm so happy with it. But yeah, so I guess that is the end of this video. Feels like I've been doing this forever, because I kind of have, because it's taken me about a month to paint this, because I've been painting it leisurely, which was really nice. And yeah, I, for that show in February, have some art that I'm going to try to get done in time for that. So I might take you along for that. We'll see. I will definitely take you to the show so you can see like what's going on with that. But yeah, I guess this is it. Until next time, bye.